Hey folks.
Happy New Year, almost.
Take two.
Actually, this is more like take 2 of 4 or 5 because we've had problems with the camera and with the memory card. So we've been sitting here trying to get this done for the past 2 hours.
This is our annual New Year's video. It used to be our Christmas video, but there's only so many things you can say about Santa Claus and Rudolph before you run out of things to say. But you never run out of things to say for the New Year, especially 2016, also known as the Devil's Year.
Yes. Lots have happened in 2016, and most of them not good.
Some good, though. You
Yeah,
feel
some
bad
good.
for saying that you had a good year, though, because people are like, what do you mean you had a good year? With all this death and destruction?
But I'm sure they've had good years,
The only
too.
people that's had a good year is Donald Trump.
You said-
I had a pretty good year, too, though, so you could slap a coat of orange paint on me and elect me president.
I'll smack him right in the face.
He probably wanted to smack me, too.
Yeah.
What are you doing, punk?
And he wants to show his ass because he knows that camera's on. No, go get a frog in my
Ribbit.
It's past my bedtime. But we had a pretty good year as far as we moved this year. I lived in my other place for 22 years. Ever since we've been in Greensboro, actually I lived there, but we decided to move this year. That was a story in itself because we moved in July.
See, I lived at my place for 13 years, and she lived at hers for 22 years.
Yeah.
So now we've moved in together to save on expenses, living with Mama again. But she lives downstairs, and I live upstairs,
Yeah.
so I don't have to see her that much.
Yeah, and then
Only in passing or
Yeah.
if I want to socialize. But this also saves me the trouble of having to come to your house every day and fix something. And I'm not good at fixing stuff. I'm the king of duct tape. I can get it working again, but you better have a plan to get somebody to fix it for
Yeah.
real because
Yeah.
it's not going to work for long.
yeah.
That's what I like about renting, though. I can just call somebody to come and fix stuff. I don't have to do it myself. Because, I get mad too. When I have to assemble stuff or fix stuff, you better not talk to me. And she knows to leave me alone. But every time she'll come to me, you need my help? You need me to do something?
just trying to
Knowing
be
good and
helpful.
well, I am going to cuss her out.
I'm just trying, and so then I would like to, and especially when he had to cut my
Nah, I don't
grass.
cuss her out. No, that sounded wrong. People think I cuss my mama
No,
out.
he ain't gonna cut, trust and believe. He ain't gonna cuss me out. When he would cut my grass, I wanted him to cut my grass while I was at work so bad because he would get so mad at that lawnmower.
That's what I love about here too. I don't have to take care of my lawn. I don't have to do anything. Pay the rent and be done with
They
it.
trim the hedges. They do everything. They just trimmed the hedges the other day. They keep the leaves blowed.
I was tired of doing man's work
Yeah.
around the houses.
Yeah. Anyway, so when we moved on the hottest day of the year. It was damn near triple digits.
It was in July. It was almost 100 degrees.
Yes.
And we had planned, we was going to take it easy. We was going to get started early in the morning before peak day heat. We was going to come pick up our keys at 9 o'clock.
Now, mind you, I went on vacation that week. So I took the whole week to pack. And we was going to move on the very last day of my vacation.
We was hoping it would be before then, but the apartment wasn't ready until the last day of her vacation. It's a townhouse apartment, 2 stories. So the apartment wasn't ready until the last day of her vacation. We were supposed to pick up the keys at 9 o'clock in the morning. Well, we had the U-Haul until 6 o'clock. And they said that somebody else already had it reserved, so we had to have it back by 6. So we got the U-Haul the day before, loaded it up. Of course, when we picked it up,
it started thunderstorming so bad. And then I couldn't hardly see to drive because the rain was coming down so hard. So then we wasn't sure how we was going to get the truck, because we were going to pack a load that night to bring over the next morning and then pack the other load the next day. But we could barely get anything packed because it was raining so hard. So that was the first clincher right there.
So we come at 9 o'clock to pick up our keys, and they said, your apartment's not ready yet. It's going to be 11 o'clock. We said, So we waited. Then at 11 o'clock, they said, it's not ready yet. It's going to be 2 o'clock.
Yeah, so I sent them an email and said, it has to be 2 o'clock. We need in there at 2 o'clock because we have to get the truck back at 6. So I was going to bring the stuff in whether it was ready or not.
And it wasn't ready at 2 o'clock. They were still in here working.
Yeah, they were still working.
We were unpacking around them. But we had to unload that U-Haul in peak day heat. We had 4 hours from the time to unload the first load and then go back and pick up the second load and bring it back and unload it on the hottest day of the year in peak heat.
And get the U-Haul back. I think we were like 30 minutes late getting it back.
We made good time though, but I was so exhausted. I sweated so much that day, I didn't pee for 2 days. I didn't know you could do that. You get so dehydrated, you stop peeing.
And then when it was so hot outside, he had the air turned on so much to where, like he said, he lives upstairs, I'm downstairs. So when I get up the next morning at 5:30 to go to work, it was so cold down here that when I stepped outside, my glasses steamed up. Now, it was cold in
She
here.
likes to keep the heat cranking though. I can't take
No, but
that.
you got to admit, it was cold
It
in
was
this
cold that
house.
morning. Well, I had turned it down, and then I went to bed and forgot about it. I had turned it all the way down, and then
It was like 51 degrees downstairs the next day.
it was a little cold. But I love the cold.
Yeah, he does, not me. So we have this agreement that he can control the thermostat in the summertime, but I control the thermostat in the wintertime because he can open his window and
I
cover
do.
his vent.
My vent is covered, and my window is open right now, and it's 40 degrees outside. I thrive in the
Yeah,
tundra.
and I freeze in the summertime because of the way he has the air, but I'm not gonna freeze in the wintertime.
Mr. Furley says Happy New Year.
Little rotten thing. And then, so another thing that's happened in the new year is all the celebrity deaths lately.
Well, I was going to make a list of them, but it would be like the Dead Sea Scrolls. We'd still be here next year talking about
We would,
that,
too.
in November, this person died, and then that person died, and
But before we talk about them, we'll talk about the deaths of
cut it out. He's
of the
hurt.
people that we actually knew. There have been deaths of people in real life that we knew, and the first one was a classmate of mine and a family member through marriage at one time, Geneva Sullivan. She died in October of a brain disease, a very rare brain disease. And then in October too, it was in October when Michael died, right?
Mm-hmm. Now, Michael was one of my best friends. I've known him for 16 years. He was 39 and got hit by a car. One of my best friends ever, and one of the nicest people that people always say that when somebody does. He was the nicest person you'd ever want to meet, but Michael really was.
He really was.
He had 100 best friends,
Yeah,
and you couldn't be in a bad mood around him.
yeah, he was a funny guy. And then there was
Cut it out! It hurts them claws on me.
Stop.
Go on.
And then, I know you're going to edit that part out. And then the third death was on December the 5th. My sister-in-law, Tammy, she died of liver disease. She had been diagnosed almost 2 years ago. And she died on December the 5th, was buried on December the 9th. And that December the 9th was the anniversary of my husband's death. Yeah, so. And then my mom also died in December of 2005, so that's 3 deaths in December.
Yeah, December's not a good month.
No. No. Now for the celebrity deaths, though,
Good God.
we'll start with Prince. Prince was well, I won't say the most shocking. I guess him and George Michael is tied for
Prince
the
was
most
shocking, but it actually wasn't as shocking at the time because hadn't he been he had been in the hospital or something a couple of days before
Yeah.
for overdosing or something. So you kind of, when it happened, it was like, well, it was still shocking.
Yeah, it was shocking, but yeah, they found him dead in the elevator.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're not sure how long he'd been in there.
And who else? Fidel Castro, China, the wrestler.
Oh yeah, I was surprised when she died.
I wasn't.
And then Glenn Fry. You keep looking at me funny every time I say his name.
I've heard
He
his name.
had something to do with the Eagles. I think
I've
you
heard.
remember the
Oh
Eagles.
yeah, okay, I know who you're talking about
Yeah.
now. I wouldn't be able to pick him out of a lineup, but I've
Yeah.
heard of him.
Merle Haggard, he
Merle
was country
Haggard.
and western singer.
Yeah, I know Merle Haggard.
And then George Michael the other
George
day.
Michael, now that was shocking.
That was a shock. That was really a shock. Then you had,
Alan Thicke.
yeah, that was just, what, a week or so ago?
Uh-huh.
Alan Thicke, there, Florence Henderson.
Florence Henderson. Now, yeah, and then a couple of days after Florence Henderson died, little Cindy Brady got herself into some trouble for her homophobic rants online, and she was working on a radio station or something, and she got fired from the radio show, and So that was pretty funny. And then a couple of days later, she went on her Facebook and gave a half-ass apology. And so I went on there and commented on something. And then somebody came on my page and they were talking about, you're a loser, you need to get a life and all this. I'm like, and I responded, I said, wait a minute, you followed me here from Cindy Brady's Facebook page and you're telling me I'm a loser?
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
And then Carrie Fisher.
Yes.
And then the next day?
The very next day.
The next day, her mother died.
Debbie Reynolds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she must have died of a broken heart.
Yeah. So, but Carrie Fisher had actually had a heart attack like 3 or 4 days before that.
And I saw people saying that they thought she was going to pull through because she had survived a few days, but I knew it wasn't going to be when you read the initial story that said that it was 15 minutes before they could get a pulse.
Yeah.
You don't come back from that.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you doing, Mr. Furley? And then also, somebody else that died very close together was Zsa Zsa Gabor. She was like 100, though. I had thought she'd been dead a couple of years ago, but I apparently was mistaken. But then a couple of days later, they said, oh, more bad news for Zsa Zsa's family. Her adopted son died. Except, it wasn't like her adopted son that she raised since he was 5 years old. Her and her weird-ass husband they had like adopted a series of grown men when she was like in her 70s or 80s.
That's just too strange. I mean, why would you gonna adopt grown men?
I think it's because he has like a prince title or something, because he was adopted by a princess once of some country or somewhere. Something very, very strange couple. Very strange couple. But they adopted a series of grown men so the men could get the prince title from him, which is all kinds of crazy.
Well, did these grown men live with them?
No, I don't even know if they knew them. It was kind of a way of buying. It's illegal to sell the title, but so they had to adopt these men to give them the title. But they were paid for it.
Oh yeah.
I think Zsa Zsa's husband was after the. Everybody said when they got married that he was after the money, and boy, if he was, he earned that money.
He did earn that money because
he was like 40 and she was 70. When they got married, so he thought, yeah, I'm gonna marry this rich old woman,
and now he's 70 and she's finally dead. I don't mean to say it that way, but I mean.
And then people online saying Zsa Zsa, oh, she was so classy and what they weren't saying that one back when she was slapping police officers and whatnot.
No, they got her plastered as a diva and a bitch, and
she was the original Kardashian. She didn't really do anything. She was just famous.
Yeah. Her sister was more famous than her, Ava Gabor, because Ava Gabor played in Green Acres and she did movies and stuff.
We spent more time talking about Zsa Zsa Gabor than we have any other celebrity death, like it's the most unexpected.
And she was the one that was a dinosaur.
Who else? Fidel Castro.
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank now. Christina Grimmie from The Voice. Now, that was the most shocking for me, because
yeah.
I watched The Voice.
Yeah, she was murdered.
She was killed in Orlando. She was shot. And I'm actually kind of surprised it hasn't happened before with these shows that are like hyping up their fans and whatnot. And you run into some crazy ones online, too. And she ran into a crazy one, and he shot her, and that was just shocking to me. And then it was the next night when they had that shooting at the Pulse nightclub.
That was sad.
The worst mass shooting in United States history.
Yeah.
And I was really, school shootings and stuff, I'm so far out of school I don't think about that. But gay clubs, I used to go to the gay clubs all the time, so I could imagine the people in the bathroom and stuff. It was horrible. But then to get online and see your friends that had prayed for Paris and prayed for all these other attacks, silent.
Yeah, and then there was a lot of people making comments of they got what they deserved. It doesn't make any sense. And they claim to be Christian though, but they're saying they got what they deserved.
It's Trump's America.
Speaking of Trump, okay, that's been another year of the presidential election.
And the most important death of the year, the death of America.
Yeah.
Gosh.
And then the election is over, but people are still damning each other if you didn't vote for who they voted for.
I don't understand how anybody could vote for Donald Trump. I mean, I can't even repeat half the stuff that he said during the campaign season because I got my mother sitting beside me and it wouldn't be right. And that's, and he's president, he's going to be president
And he's
now?
our president.
Oh, God.
And then the Trump supporters are still calling the Hillary supporters names and vice versa. The country is still divided.
I try to
It's a
have
mess.
reasonable debates with these Trump supporters, but most of them are not reasonable people. And every time you say something, they're like, well, Hitlery did this and Hillary did that. I'm like, can y'all talk like reasonable adults?
Exactly. I mean, there was no need for name calling.
But the most hateful, he ran the most hateful campaign ever. And I like the ugly campaigns. Some people say, I hate all the ugliness and divisiveness. I actually love that, but he took it a little bit too far even for me, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of people might have died in 2016, but 2017, he might kill us all.
Yeah.
Fingers on the nuclear buttons. Oh my God.
Yes. And I just don't think he's a businessman. I don't see him as a politician.
It's not even a good businessman.
He's gonna be sitting back letting somebody else make all the decisions. And I guarantee you,
If we're lucky.
I guarantee you, the most comments we're gonna get is gonna be about Trump and Hillary in this video. They're not gonna talk about the deaths of George Michael or Prince or any of our family members. We're gonna be damned for our political views.
So yeah, Trump had a good year. I mean, I had a reasonably good year despite all the death and turmoil. You know, it was.
I've had worse years.
I wouldn't call it the worst year of my life, but
Yeah. I mean, it's been all right.
I would say I'm gonna be glad when it's over. But you never know. Next year might be twice as bad.
You never know what the next year is gonna hold. You just don't know. Then we might be wishing for 2016
Oh,
again.
here's another death we forgot about.
Who?
Harambe.
Oh, let's cover. We'd have been damned if we leave that one
Oh,
out
we would too, because that damn gorilla. Let me tell you.
Harambe the gorilla. There was one man that left a comment that said, if given the choice between the life of the gorilla or the life of the little boy, he said, hell yeah, I would have chosen
Oh,
the
there
gorilla.
were so many people that said that, and people became obsessed with this gorilla over the summer. And I moderate a chat room, and we had to ban people from even talking about that damn gorilla because for 6 weeks, non-stop, that's all anybody was talking about. And people were saying the mother was at fault, and I think the zoo was at fault. They should have it closed off to where there is no way a child can get into the gorilla's enclosure.
They're saying that the mother should have had a better eye on the child. You can't keep your eyes on anybody 24/7.
Right, I mean,
she wouldn't have been able to see nothing if all she was doing was going like this to her child.
You look away for a split second. It happens all the time. Kids get in
Things
trouble when the parents
happen
look
in a
away for a
split
split second. Usually it's a minor thing, but
And I do blame the zoo too, because how was he able to get in there? The zoo should have had something up to ensure that nobody could get in there. Yes, I blame the zoo. I think it's the zoo's
this is my first video of 2016. I haven't made a video since our last New Year's video.
And he used to make a couple. He
It's a
couldn't
wonder
even.
I'm not camera shy now.
He couldn't even figure out how to get the camera to work.
I did. It took me a good hour to get the camera set up.
He said, I should have practiced on this earlier.
I'm way out of practice. Now watch me edit it. We
Meanwhile,
might have it up before the new year.
I'm just sitting over here with my phone, holding the dog, playing on Facebook.
That's all she does anyway, so.
Oh, there was somebody from Hee Haw that died too not too long ago. You probably don't remember them, but I can't remember the name. Any people in my age group wouldn't. If I can't remember the name. It's just, I can see his face, but I don't know who he is. Yeah, you can edit that. Okay. As soon as we get done with this, we're going to think of somebody important that we left out. We're going to be like, how the hell did we leave that out? And when I go to the
Willy
grocery store or
Wonka.
whatever. What, Willy Wonka died?
Hmm?
I didn't know that. Where have I been?
Gene, what is his name?
Gene Wilder. Yeah, Gene Wilder. Yeah, Gene Wilder. How did I forget Gene Wilder?
Come here, Mr. Furley.
Look at the camera. Say hello. Give JoJo sugar.
No.
He wants to. He's gonna please give
Say
me
Happy
some.
New Year.
It looks like he froze when I went over to kiss. He's like,
I can't say I blame him.
hey, Mr. Furry.
Where are you going? So yeah, it's my only video of 2016, unless I get an urge to do something in the next 2 days, which is not likely. But I do hope to do more in 2017. I got a lot of things planned out in my head, but they don't always go from my head to actual coming to fruition. So, but I hope they do.
That's another thing that, you know, I told you people was going to comment about the presidential election on this one, but everybody is going to ask you about videos of
The Voice.
Yeah, The Voice. Hey Joe, are you going to do any videos
Before y'all
about The
comment,
Voice?
before y'all ask, I am definitely planning on doing the next season of The Voice. Now they're gonna leave that comment anyway, and that's how you know they didn't watch. In 2017, Trump might have us nuked before the next season of The Voice starts, so we may there may be no more TV.
You don't know what 2017 is going to hold.
So, is my shirt messed up? Is my titties? That looks like I got full titty. I hope it ain't been like that the whole time.
You got bigger ones than me. I gotta have Harambe shaved. But I'm not worried about size anymore. Shoot, those days are over. Now, I don't want to sit here and explode or anything. But
She's sitting here talking about how she looks like a gorilla, and it's like, I'm not worried about it no more.
I mean, I don't want to take on the Harambe shape.
No, I'm going on a diet soon. I've been going on a diet for a couple of years now, but then it was like every time I aim to
I
lose,
got tears now.
every time I aim to lose 20 pounds, and now I've done put on 20, so now I need to lose 40. So, but I got me a bike too. I got me a bicycle. I was going to get in the shower. Was going to be like a regular, what's his name, Lance Armstrong. With him out of the drugs.
Now you did good. What, a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago? He went on a diet. Yeah, and you lost a lot of weight. Remember, you lost a lot of weight, and because I was commenting to you how you lost weight.
Oh, well, I lost a little bit, but not as much as I wanted.
And then the thing of it was, when he reached his goal of what he wanted to lose,
I celebrate with food.
and then I came back.
I like to eat. You know, a lot of people say that they're overweight and stuff. Emotional, they eat emotional. I just like food. There's
So
much
when he
good
got to where he
food.
wanted to be, he was like, "Now I can have that bag of chips now. I just lost this weight." And then, but so I think your weight is genetic. You're gonna weigh what you're gonna weigh, unless you stay on a strict diet all the time. And I'm just not gonna do that.
I am gonna go on a diet soon.
Soon.
How soon? I don't know.
Soon. Okay, now next year when we're sitting right here making this
I'm
video.
20 pounds bigger.
Okay, we're the Carl Haynes again. And the guy on Hee Haw sang, the one that died sang, "Where, oh, where are you tonight? Why did you leave me here all alone?" Those are my age group. You all gonna know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea.
Yeah, well.
Hee Haw was before my time. Actually, I remember Hee Haw when I was a kid. But
And
they
he-
did that. They tried to do that. What that '80s Hee Haw in the mall? Remember that?
No.
They tried. I think it was a mall or something. They got out from the barn or whatever, and they had Hee Haw in the mall or some nonsense like
Yeah.
that. It didn't last long.
Just like shows like that I can watch now, and I don't find them remotely funny. And I'm like, what did I see in that years ago? You couldn't pay me to watch Hee Haw now, but when I was young, I thought it was a thing. Of course, there wasn't a whole lot to choose from back then. Okay, we gonna wrap this up?
I think so. I can't think of nothing else to say right now, but I'll think of a lot here in a little while when we're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway,
Okay, anyway, we hope you have a good, well, 2016's not over with yet. Hopefully nobody else
Y'all
will
be
drop
safe.
off between now and then. If you have to, stay home. Don't go outside.
if
Don't look
I
out
was a
your window.
celebrity, I would have my doctor moving in with me until the year is over.
Yeah,
Of course,
yeah.
I didn't do Michael Jackson a hell of a lot of good, but I wonder if there have been a lot more celebrity deaths this year, or if people are just exaggerating it, and we're just maybe it's the normal amount.
They were saying the other day on the news that back in the 50s, when the Big Bopper and what's his name and them got killed in that plane, Richie Valens was killed in the plane crash. That was called the day the music died. They're saying that this is the year the music died because there's so many deaths. David Bowie. We forgot about David Bowie.
Leonard Cohen.
Yep.
Who else?
And I was never a David Bowie fan, but I did like some of his songs. But after he died, I watched an interview he did, and I had to watch it 2 or 3 times because I laughed so hard. I did not know he was such a funny man. And he had me laughing so hard. I thought, that's really David Bowie? He's really that funny? And he was. And so,
Carrie Fisher was funny too. I had no idea. She was a little strange though.
yeah, she was strange. She was very strange. Somebody
But I had
commented.
never watched the first Star Wars movie. I've never watched a single Star Wars
No,
movie.
me
ever.
either, no.
I keep meaning to, but I just never know where to start because it's like, 8 of them? And I just don't know which one to start with. And when you ask people, they say, well, should I start with this one? You would think you would start with the order they came out, but that's not the order they go in for some reason.
That's bizarre. And Cinnabon pulled a tweet that they had put up because they said Carrie Fisher had the second best set of buns around. You know, because her ears look like, well, not her ears, but her hair looked like cinnamon buns, which was a compliment. The second best set of buns. Cinnabon had the best buns. She had the second buns, and that's what the hairdo was called, buns. So why are people so offended by that? It's called buns. People are too offended over everything.
I don't think that's necessarily the case. That's what Donald Trump and his supporters say. People are too politically correct. And, there's such a thing as politically correct, and then there's being an asshole. And Donald Trump was just an asshole. So, and people say they liked him because he spoke his mind. Well, speaking your mind is fine, but just being right down mean to people is a whole different story.
And vulgar.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I can't even repeat some of these Donald Trump quotes, not in front of my mama.
And then everybody's going to talk about Hillary and blah, 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 and call her out of her name. Half the stuff that you read is fake news press anyway.
Mm-hmm. But you can't tell these Trump supporters because you tell them that that's not real, that is fake news that never happened. They say, well, prove it. How can I prove something that never happened?
Right, exactly.
You'll prove it if you think it's true.
Or then when they leave these comments and having all capital letters at the end, truth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do you know that? Was you there?
The thing is, though, that, and then Hillary won the popular vote by like 3 million. And then Trump supporters will say, well, if not for California, well, okay, California's a state too, we got to count it. What if we had an extra Texas, the election would have turned out differently. We count all the states, the people.
And the thing of it is, if you will recall, before he won, Trump himself and all the Trump supporters were saying that the election was rigged. Mm-hmm. That the polls were rigged. So then he wins, and you never hear nothing else from them.
Oh, he says now we don't care because we won. He
He
literally said that.
But the Trump supporters are saying, no, it wasn't rigged. It wasn't rigged.
Oh, they're still
but
saying
before
that
it was rigged.
They're still saying that it was rigged in Hillary's favor, and that's the only reason she won the popular vote. If Hillary Clinton was rigging the election, she would be the next president.
Yeah. Because if she could do that, she could do about anything, so. Yeah.
But anyway, if I sit here and talk about Donald Trump, I could go on all night, and we don't have enough battery power for that. But I'm sure I'll have things to say about him in 2017 when he actually becomes president, unless he shuts down all free speech and we're not allowed to say anything bad about him, which I'm sure he would love to do. But
yeah.
Anyway.
Okay then.
Okay then.
So enjoy the rest of your year.
Have a good next couple of days.
Yep. 2 more
Be
days.
safe, and we'll see y'all in 2017.
We'll see y'all next year. You probably won't be seeing him anytime soon. It'll probably be in December.
I'll be around before then.
I made more videos than him this year.
Okay, that's it for this year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Bye-bye.